Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a battle you can't win? Like the world's weight is crushing you, and even God seems silent or distant? Well, here's the thing: sometimes, when all appears lost, that's exactly when the fiercest fight begins. Psalm 60 throws down a challenge to despair and abandonment, revealing a truth many overlook. God is not just watching from afar, He's right in the trenches, fighting for you. This isn't a feel-good cliché. It's a radical promise that flips the script on hopelessness and puts victory within reach. So, if you've been waiting for a sign or a miracle, this video might just be the breakthrough you didn't know you needed. Sometimes life hits so hard, it feels like even heaven's gone silent. You look around and nothing makes sense, not the pain, not the timing, not the silence from God. That's the place David was in when he wrote Psalm 60. Picture a man, once victorious, now facing defeat, abandonment, and deep inner confusion. And yet, even in this crushing moment, he didn't shut down. He wrote, he prayed, he fought with his words. It's interesting, right? When we hit rock bottom, most people think that's the end of the road. But what if it's the very place where angels are closest and where the Bible actually becomes your rescue manual? David didn't see abandonment as punishment. He saw it as an opportunity to cry out with boldness. That's a mindset shift, and one most people never realize they can make. But those who do, they rise differently. The enemy loves to twist our worst days into narratives of failure. But what if, instead of spiraling, we pray? That sounds cliché, maybe even naive, but there's real power in it. The kind that doesn't just comfort but activates. Just imagine if, the next time everything fell apart, you reached for Psalm 60 instead of social media. Now that changes the game entirely. David didn't hold back. He poured his heart out, no filters, no poetic polish, just raw, honest desperation. And that's where the real spiritual breakthroughs happen. He wasn't just venting, he was praying. He acknowledged the pain of his people, the fear in their bones, the silence from heaven, but he didn't stop there. He reminded himself, and us, who really holds the power. Now think about this. How often do we actually let ourselves go there? Not the cute prayer version of us, but the full, tear-streaked, fist-clenched version that says, God, I need you. Now, that's what David did. And instead of asking for escape, he asked for restoration. That's a big deal. Most people ask for a way out. David asked for a way through, with God leading the charge. So here's the shift. When we speak with that kind of faith, even in defeat, it triggers movement in the spiritual realm. Angels take their positions. The Bible comes alive. And your prayer becomes a declaration, not a whisper. Want to feel that kind of divine backup again? Well, that's where something powerful begins to stir. Passive faith is like having a sword and never drawing it. That's why this isn't just about believing. It's about activating that belief. The Psalms aren't poetic decorations for coffee mugs. They're spiritual weapons. And right now, more than ever, people need to be reminded that prayer isn't just a ritual, it's warfare. David didn't write to soothe. He wrote to fight. Imagine a generation rising up, not with anger, but with purpose, declaring the truths of the Bible over their homes, their children, their minds. That's what this channel is calling for. A prayer movement that doesn't wait for a pastor or a crisis. A daily habit, a spiritual rhythm, a lifeline. Just like brushing your teeth or checking your phone, but instead, you speak heaven into your life before the world speaks chaos into it. And look, this isn't about being perfect or having all the right words. It's about showing up. You can whisper, you can shout, you can cry, as long as you engage. Every psalm is a step deeper into the presence of God, and with every step, you invite angels into the battle. And that's where the first prayer begins to break the silence. This is where things get real. The first reading of Psalm 60 isn't a performance, it's a surrender. It's that sacred moment when you stop trying to fix everything yourself and finally say, God, I can't do this without you. That honesty? That's power. That's the kind of prayer that doesn't just float, it moves heaven. Because when you're that vulnerable, angels lean in. We've all had moments where our strength ran out, in a hospital room, a sleepless night, or a quiet breakdown in traffic. And yet, that's where God meets us. David didn't pretend to be strong. He confessed weakness. And by doing that, he opened the door to supernatural intervention. That's the paradox. Surrender is what gives you access to real strength. So next time the weight gets too heavy, don't fake your way through it. Get in the Word. Grab Psalm 60. And pray like someone who knows that help isn't just coming, it's already moving. This surrender isn't the end. It's the beginning of a divine strategy, and the second prayer is where that strategy takes shape. Here's the turning point. The second reading isn't just prayer, it's proclamation. This is where you stop asking if God will act and start declaring that he already is. Faith gets loud here. David didn't just remember God's promises, he activated them. He took what was written in the Bible and made it personal, present, and powerful the same way you should. This is the moment when you stop being a spectator and become a warrior. It's like stepping into the ring spiritually, declaring healing when sickness tries to settle in, speaking peace when anxiety knocks at your door. You're not just praying anymore, you're standing. Angels respond to that kind of faith. And so does the darkness, it flees. So say it out loud. Say it like you mean it. Take God's promises and speak them over your life like David did. Because this isn't blind hope, this is covenant. And when you tap into that, everything changes. And that's why the third prayer isn't a request. It's a victory seal waiting to be released. By the time David reaches the final reading, something has shifted deeply. This prayer isn't about pleading anymore. It's about praising. It's the moment where gratitude flows, sealing the victory in the spiritual realm before it fully manifests in the natural. When you pray with thanksgiving, you're inviting angels to celebrate alongside you, reinforcing the triumph already won. Think of it like finishing a race, but crossing the finish line with your arms raised, not because you're certain you won, but because you believe you did. That confident thankfulness shifts atmospheres and declares that God's hand was at work all along. It rewires your heart to see beyond the struggle and into the promise. Practically, this means building a habit of praise, no matter your circumstances. Try journaling 3 things you're grateful for every day, even if it's just the smallest victory. Let that thanksgiving become your spiritual seal, a beacon that draws more blessings and activates even more angels on your behalf. And from here, the Psalm's message blooms into its fullest power. Psalm 60 isn't just a cry for help. It's a bold declaration that with God, you're unstoppable. The Psalm reminds us that no matter the chaos, pain, or feelings of abandonment, the power to overcome lies in divine strength. When you pray with this conviction, you're wielding a weapon sharper than any earthly sword, one that calls angels to fight for you. Think about it like this. In battles, the side with the strongest backup always wins. And here, God is that unbeatable backup. The Bible makes it clear, he doesn't just defend, he defeats your enemies. So, the next time life feels like it's collapsing, remember Psalm 60 and stand firm. Your prayer becomes a fortress, a light piercing through the darkest nights. This is the heartbeat of the entire psalm. That victory isn't about human strength, but heavenly intervention. And that's exactly why this video closes with an invitation to make this powerful prayer a daily weapon, a lifestyle, and a beacon of hope for everyone. But what does that daily practice really look like? That's what comes next. Faith grows when it's practiced daily, like muscles in training. The channel encourages viewers to make Psalm 60 a regular part of their spiritual routine. Imagine starting each day with these prayers, wrapping yourself in the promises of the Bible, and calling angels to surround you. It's not just about words. It's about building an unshakable spiritual armor. Sharing this message is part of the mission. When you pass these prayers on, you're not just helping others find hope, you're sparking a movement. The world needs more light, more faith, and more warriors who know that God fights alongside them. Think about inviting a friend or family member to pray with you. That's how spiritual legacies begin. The power of prayer combined with the strength of community creates unstoppable momentum. Daily practice turns the psalm from text into experience, and sharing turns it into revolution. So, are you ready to take this journey? To keep praying, growing, and spreading this message? Because this is just the beginning, and the next step might surprise you. Now that you've discovered the transformative power of Psalm 60, how about putting it into practice? Imagine waking up every day wrapped in this powerful prayer, feeling the presence of angels and the strength of the Bible guiding every step you take. Are you ready to truly trust, surrender, and, above all, activate the faith that moves mountains? How would your life begin to change if you allowed this prayer to be your shield and your sword? Think about it, reflect, and most importantly, start today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep growing spiritually and strengthening your faith daily.